Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. You are about to see a fictional story called Bev-er-ages. Bev-er-ages is about an organization called NELC, the National Association of Liquid Consumers. During the film, this mysterious organization is being investigated by Dale Swaroxia, an investigative reporter. During the investigation, Dale runs into some characters such as Nathan Bovac and Marby Moon. Although Dale does not solve all the mysteries of NELC, she does learn a few things. We hope you enjoy it.
Your reputation as an investigative reporter is impressive, and your references are very good. You've built this reputation in a short period of time. And from your resume, it shows that you worked at the world's greatest museum. Why did you leave the museum?
My time at the museum was fantastic. However, my journalism background and other interests led me to pursue investigative reporting. My experience at the museum was invaluable, and it definitely supplements my reporting talents.
Can you tell us about this current investigation into the National Association of Liquid Consumers, also known as the NALC?
Yeah, I had met a gentleman named Nert Bovac who was working on a family photo project that was displayed at the museum. He had told me about his brother Nathan Bovac and his involvement with NALC. NALC sounded very unusual to me, so I did become very intrigued. As you know, YBIM had contracted me out to investigate NALC and find out what they're currently doing. The interesting thing is I don't know how YBIM even knew that I had met Nert Bovac.
Very interesting. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll be looking forward to your report.
Thank you. As it turns out, YBIN had previously contracted another investigator to look into NALC, and I was able to locate a summary of what she found. Her name was Marla something or other. The odd thing is that I don't know if she was a real person. She kind of looked like a doll. Unfortunately, she disappeared and the authorities found no trace of her. The details of her report were also never found. I remember viewing her summary report.
NELC, the National Association of Liquid Consumers, is a very esoteric organization that can be considered underground, dark, and somewhat of a cult. Some people say the organization also has mysterious powers. NELC has a dark history unknown to most people. Membership is very selective, and it's very difficult to get in. NELC meets at secluded and public locations with the intent to share knowledge and wisdom on many topics surrounding liquid consumption. The meetings draw speakers, discussion leaders, and technical experts among the normal members and attendees. To be honest, investigating this group made me feel very uneasy, and I was very uncomfortable with most, if not all, of the members. For example, there was this man named Nathan Bovac.
I was able to contact Nert Bovac, and he put me in contact with Nathan Bovac. After a brief discussion, Nathan invited me to a NALC meeting, which I reluctantly will be attending. Well, you all remember I got invited to a meeting, so here I am, and let's see how this goes.
Good evening. We're very happy that all of you could attend the meeting today. It's a pleasure seeing all of you again. Please know that we have a new guest today, Miss Dale Soraxia. She's been invited by Nathan Bovac. Welcome, Dale. We have a full schedule for you, and it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker. As many of you know, his name is Nathan Bovac. Let's welcome him. Hello, Nathan. It's great seeing you again.
Thank you, Harvey. It's really nice to be here again.
Our audience is excited to have you here. What will you be discussing today?
What will we discuss? We will discuss common alcoholic beverages found in the home. Here are some various beverages.
Wonderful. Please proceed.
Some of the common questions I receive about beverages, especially alcoholic beverages found in the home, are why do we consume them? Why do we have them in the home? Why do we look at them? Why do we like them? Why do we drink them? Such as this bottle. One of my favorites. Oof. Why do we enjoy them? Why do we have them when we go out and have dinner? I'm going to give you all the answers today to these and many more questions. But first, well, that's a bite. Marby, how come there's no soda and ice? Club soda, that is. Wait a minute. What's going on here today? What is this? We have milk. We have diet cranberry type sauce. We have coffee. Root beer soda. Marby, what's going on here? Who set this table up? Who's messing up this discussion on common alcoholic beverages? Where's that Marby? What's going on here? I want to know. I'm getting a little agitated. NELK meetings do not get messed up. I'm very upset. And I'm getting a little...
Nathan, what's going on?
I don't know. This is a good whiskey, by the way. It's cheap and good. What is this? What's going on here? Marby, I can't take this. What did you do?
Well, we all know Nathan. Let's take a break and we'll see you shortly.
Yeah, it's a weird organization. I was introduced to the group by a friend and actually attended a few meetings. To this day, I'm not really sure what their purpose is, but I kind of got a feeling that their attendees are up to no good. There's also a spookiness about them that I can't really put into words. And that Marby Moon, she's really out there. I don't know what to think about her.
My boyfriend took me to a couple of meetings, and I didn't understand what was happening. Those people all were strange, as they all talked about things that had nothing to do with beverages. I met Nathan briefly, and he told me.
Mickey, you are so beautiful. NELK, our organization, would really appreciate having you as a member. Would you join?
Mr. Bovek, I really don't know.
Well, I would appreciate it if you would think about it, as we really would like to have you.
Well, I'm not sure what I have to contribute, but I'll think about it.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
It was uncomfortable talking to him. He made me feel uneasy and gave me the creeps. Weird man. Between some speakers talking about consumption requirements and beverage tendencies, it just didn't make any sense to me. I even heard that there was a time that Nathan Bovek talked about goats. He even talked to goats.
Today, my friends, we are celebrating the wild goat. As you know, the wild goat is one of NELK's favorite symbols. The wild goat being smart, rugged, with a can-do attitude. And, my friends, the wild goat making a contribution to the discovery of coffee. Now, back in, as legend has it, the 9th century, an Ethiopian farmer, I believe his name was Kaldi, discovered one of his wild goats nipping away at the coffee buds of a tree or bush. At that time, we don't know. He discovered this goat having amazing abilities after it was nipping away at that coffee. That discovery by the goat and the farmer, Kaldi, has led to a wonderful history of coffee. And of course, as we all know, NELK celebrates the beverage coffee. So my friends, I ask you, let's hear it for the goat today. Thank you. Thank you.
I met that Nathan guy once. Kind of gave me the chills. But in an odd way, he's kind of a cool dude. Hey, Nathan.
Hi, Rad. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you today?
Okay, it's nice to see you're attending one of our meetings today.
Certainly, certainly. I was wondering, could you possibly tell me a little bit more details about Nelk?
Well, I really can't. I don't have the time. But what I would suggest is you continue coming to our meetings and contacting Marby Moon, who's one of our directors. I think you met her, and spend some time with her, and maybe she can give you some more information. And you'll learn through attending some of the meetings. But there are a couple interesting things I would like to tell you right now, since I have a moment. Come closer.
He talked about all this strange kind of stuff, and although it was odd, I was really intrigued. And then he talked a little bit about the history of Nelk, and even some about their inner circles, but didn't get into too many details. He didn't mention coffee. He does talk about it a lot. Not exactly sure why, but the gang seems to like it.
Thank you. Thank you. That was an intriguing, esoteric story. I'll tell you another one. As you all know, coffee is one of Nelk's favorite beverages. Now, as legend has it, in the mid-18th century, King Gustav III of Sweden proclaimed that coffee was poisonous. Now, this was a theory of his, and he set out to prove to his countrymen that coffee was a poisonous beverage. He selected 3 prisoners, as legend has it, and gave each prisoner 3 pots of coffee a day to prove his theory. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, King Gustav III of Sweden was assassinated prior to completing his study. So he did not prove his contention and could not make a proclamation. Now, as far as we know, none of his successors continued his studies. So what have we learned from King Gustav's theory of coffee being poisonous? I'll tell you what we learned. We learned 3 things. Number 1,
My boyfriend spoke so highly about this group, and I'm not sure why. Somehow I think there was some secret message being sent around the room. I'm not even sure what their purpose was. There was some discussion about drinking beverages, especially when that strange fellow Nathan Bovac spoke about coffee. Who really cared?
beverage management. Oof. Thanks for having me again today. We're going to talk about beverage management today. Talk about how we influence people, how we've built organizations to bring new members into our organization. This is a very critical subject, and we've discussed it many times before. Beverage management. A very, very important topic for all of us to be involved with. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I ask all of you today, you know what you have to do. You know where you have to go. So I ask you again and again, go do what you have to do. Beverage management. Now for everybody. Thank you.
This group must be involved in some type of conspiracy. That weird guy Nathan Bovac spoke one day, and all he talked about was various beverages and possible side effects. He was suggesting that the water had been tampered with and was influencing people's thoughts. Somehow I think their purpose might be to impact people's lives and manipulate their thoughts.
There's this rumor that Nelk also owns a pest control company. They use this company to meet strange people and recruit them. They infiltrate their lives, possibly through the use of the chemicals. After attending a couple meetings, it wouldn't surprise me.
After today's meeting, I introduced myself to Marby Moon and will have a chance to speak with her. Thank you for your time, Miss Moon.
Gladly, we appreciate your interest.
So, how long have you been involved with NELK?
About 4 years.
So, can you tell me about the organization?
Sure. NALC was founded a number of years ago. I'm not sure who started it, but it has grown over the years. After attending a few meetings, I was elected as one of the directors.
How many executive directors are there?
There are 4, but I'm the only public director. For some reason, the other 3 are in the membership, but nobody really knows who they are. The decision is made by the directors by a secret vote.
That sounds a little odd. So, what is the purpose of the organization?
As you can imagine, NALC promotes liquid consumption to the consumer and promotes benefits and drawbacks for various beverages.
So, how many members does NELK have?
We don't keep record regarding that.
Are there any membership dues, and how does NELK even support itself?
All finances are handled by other directors.
From what we understand, there seems to be some political undertones and, let's say, odd occurrences going on with the organization. Do you have any comments on that?
Not sure what you mean.
It's been reported that there have been presentations, lectures, discussion groups that address topics that have absolutely nothing to do with beverages.
I really can't say.
There's one speaker, Nathan Bovak, who seems to be a regular speaker. Do you know what his role is with the organization?
Yes, Mr. Bobak is a regular speaker, and to be quite honest, nobody really knows him. He shows up occasionally and provides the group with new or updated information.
He seems to have some influence on the group.
I really don't know. I usually receive written instructions from time to time regarding meetings plans. Sometimes, from what I heard, some of the members meet privately.
Can you explain further with that?
Actually, I set enough. I really need to be going. Maybe you should talk to Nathan Bobak directly.
Thank you. Maybe we can talk again sometime? With a little perseverance, I was able to arrange a few minutes to speak with Nathan Bovak. I will meet him today in the parking lot after the NELK meeting. Not quite sure how this is going to go. He's kind of a weird guy. That ridiculous, stupid wig he wears. Hi, Mr. Bovak.
Hi, Dale. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Okay. Did you enjoy the meeting?
I did. It was very cool. Thank you.
Good, good. Let's spend a minute. Why don't we get in the car?
Thank you for taking a few minutes to speak with me, Mr. Bovak.
No problem, Dale. You know, Nert spoke very highly about you. He mentioned all the great work you did at the world's greatest museum on a project called, I think it was called Faces. So, are you interested in joining NELK?
Actually, I'm trying to learn a little bit more about the organization. I had spoken with Marby Moon and a few others, and I'm not quite sure what to think yet. I guess my first question is, who's even in charge of NELK?
Well, you know, that concerns me. Marby did say you were asking a lot of questions, and you've asked lots of questions of a lot of other members. We can't have that, Dale. We don't need a lot of questions. As a matter of fact, this conversation is over. You might as well just get out of my car.
I'm not sure why Nathan was so short with me. Do you suspect he thinks I'm an investigative reporter? Kind of makes me wonder what happened to that Marla woman that supposedly disappeared. It's very difficult to get inside this organization, and everyone we spoke to seems to be very hush-hush about everything. Fortunately, a few people that attended some of the meetings also think something is going on behind the scenes. I must say, we found Marby Moon to be very intimidated by the group, even though she is supposed to be an executive director. I recall my conversations with her, and every time the name Nathan Bovac came up, she would caress her left hand. Between Marla's disappearance and Marby's left hand, which was covered up by a really realistic looking glove, I'm not sure what to think. At this point, there is no conclusion other than the speculation that something is going on behind the scenes, something possibly very dangerous. It is obvious that Nelk isn't just about beverages, and we do hope to expose them in the future. My final reports to YBIM and Artie Newman will summarize the findings, and it will be very interesting to see what YBIM decides to do next.
It's not likely that I'm going to go to another NELC meeting, but they still send out communication that does intrigue me. Next time I get a brochure, I'll pass it on.
It seemed that the group was made up of various radical political types. Probably the strangest thing I heard was that some people disappeared, especially that junior reporter that looked like a doll. A doll, can you believe it? Everything about this group is suspicious. I'm definitely not going to any more meetings.
Hello, NB.
How is everything, Nathan?
Oh, it's really well. Meetings have been good. Recruitment's good.
I hear it, but I'd rather talk about the problem that I heard about.
What problem, NB? There's no problems. Everything's going good.
Well, that's a bit different than what I'm hearing about Dale's Roxia snooping around.
Well, there's no problem with Dale Swaroxia. What are you hearing? Because there's no problem.
What I'm hearing, Nathan, is that she's met with you and Marby, and she's asking lots of questions that I'm not interested in answering. Is this true?
Well, she's been around. She's been attending some meetings, asking a few questions. But again, NB, it's not a problem.
I don't like it. Not good.
Well,
All I
again,
have to say is, I need you to take care of it.
but NB, it's not really...
You know what to do, so take care of it.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us about this investigation on the National... Can you tell... Can you tell us about this current investigation into the National Association of How do you know that, huh? Okay.
Action.
Thank you for your time, Miss Moon. I can't do this with Gabby. Thank you for taking a few minutes, Mr. I can't do it with the name. I'm not sure why Nathan was so short with me. Do you suspect he... I don't know my line.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead.
The National... oh, no, we can't do it because of barking. Is a very Start again.
About the time is now, or the time is whatever you said.
You mentioned about all your work at the world's greatest museum, blah, 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 blah.
We have a full schedule for you. Hold on. We have a full schedule for you, and it's my pleasure to introduce. Now we cannot talk now again.
Start the whole thing.
It was founded a number of years ago. I'm not sure who started it, but it has grown up with. Not sure what you mean.
What? Oh. that was the line.
Talks about it a lot. I screwed up.
That's right. Like
I don't have my glasses, so I only see like a reflection.
Oh,
okay. All right. No,
yeah.
no, that's okay. Now I okay. So here. Okay. All right. That's where I need latitude. Because I don't know
No, you were starting, and then you started going like this. All right, but that was good. We could live with that one. But we're going to do one more.
All right, wait.
Tell me when you're ready.
Somehow,
Mickey, you are so beautiful. Nelk would really... Nathan Bovac here. The film you just saw is not fictional. The film you just saw is real. Some of the names were changed to protect the guilty. And I'm here to tell all of you that NELC, the National Association of Liquid Consumers, is a real organization. We have many members. We are growing every day. And we're telling you today, you should come to the meetings. You should see what we are all about. And you will learn. And we as a group will not tolerate people like those investigative reporters, Marla, Deos Waraxia, or some of these attendees like Rad Corcoran and Mickey Arden. Our organization will prosper and gain membership. And we want everybody to know that. Now, there is rumor that we had something to do with the disappearance of Marla. And our own Marby Moons deformed a left hand. But I'm here to tell you, we had nothing to do with that. We do not condone violence. So with all that said, come to the meetings and you will see